a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The value of wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that boy. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We gonna shut the shit down. Love and respect, though, right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank
Oh, you didn't know? Well, you better let somebody know that we're here, we're back, and we are tag teaming this back again. Here with me tonight, the one and only Mr. Paulus Clarke has rejoined us back from his sabbatical into an interesting journey, but that's for a different time and a different place to talk about that. Welcome to your SmackDown post-show review for April 19th, 2024. If you're, it may be a day early, but hey, you know, happy 420 for those who are celebrating it. We know somebody powder sniffing is going to celebrate it with this special match, but we won't get into that. We're going to talk about SmackDown tonight. We're going to talk WWE, breaking news coming out of WWE. As SmackDown was on the air, Jinder Mahal, Xia Li, and Zion Quinn have all been released at this time from WWE. We are still waiting to see if there's going to be any more releases from WWE, but those have been confirmed from Fightful. But yeah, Jinder Mahal gone, Xia Li and Zion Quinn all seem to be moving on, and we wish them the best in their future endeavors and hope that they find somewhere else, down the road to work. There are plenty of opportunities out there for all three of them. I don't see any other names at this time, but if we catch wind, we will let you know. But SmackDown setting it up tonight. What a solid SmackDown we got. Heading into next week's draft with some of the big key players already over in the UK on a UK tour. So we got no Cody. So people can't be upset that, well, I guess people are going to be upset. Oh, Cody wasn't on the show. You didn't have your world champion. But then again, I guess they can't complain that Cody's boring already. Cody didn't promote. They're boring. Put the bat back on woman. The tribalistic behavior out here in the IWC. I don't know where it's gotten to or why it's gotten here, but Cody wasn't here, so I know some people are going to be happy, some people are going to be upset, but Cody wasn't on the show tonight, but we got a solid show through and through.
He was on the show, he just wasn't there live.
Well, he got a little promo package. He got a little short video, vignette, whatever you want to call it, but I mean, he wasn't physically there in the building.
Right.
Is what people are going to complain. Yeah, that's what people are going to complain about. You know this. You know how this tribalism works, this ridiculousness, this behavior.
Complain to the tribal chief then.
Well, then who's the tribal chief for AEW?
I'm not even touching that right now.
Is that Adam Copeland? Rah, we need to be positive. Rah, we need to be positive. Or is that their biggest pop and their biggest drop? CM Punk. Oh, no, wait. It's going to be the scapegoat, isn't it?
Oh, Lord.
Good stuff. Hey, if you want to hear more, we're going to definitely be talking about a lot of that coming up on Sunday afternoon at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when we do the weekly Roundup podcast right here on the Value Wrestling. Be here at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want to catch this episode because we're going to go over a lot of things on this episode. We're going to go talk about the scapegoat wrapping up his time with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And we will be making our predictions for Dynasty and the 12 matches that we're going to have to stay awake through. And so much other stuff that's come up in this week in professional wrestling. So make sure you join us for that because Mr. Miguel Z will be here. He'll give you a little flavor of what's going on with the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast. Roundup, rebound. Yes, we get there, we get it done, and we know what we're doing. Anywho, it's SmackDown. Mr. Clarke, what's your opening statement for SmackDown tonight?
I thought it was an overall pretty good show. You know, it wasn't an excellent show, but
no.
You know, we're in that holding pattern until next week when we start going to the draft. So
yes,
that's what I expected. But you know, I thought it was a pretty entertaining show overall.
Yes. Now we're definitely in that holding pattern. We know the draft's going on next week, and then right after that, we run into Backlash in France, and that'll be at the beginning of May. So we're kind of rushing into the next pay-per-view. I wonder what the pay-per-view trend's going to be like next year, since they're talking about moving WrestleMania either back to March or maybe even in May. It'll be interesting to see how that all aspects come playing out. But right now, we're just kind of in a flat line. Not a flat line. I shouldn't say that. My bad. Let me take that back. We're just kind of in a lull here that you kind of have to step back and go, it's on the reset, but the major reset's going to be after this draft when everything gets shaken up.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see that. But the big thing tonight is we started the show off hot. We started the show with a great wrestling match. LA Knight out in the ring. He's taking on AJ Styles. LA Knight, AJ Styles, LA Knight, AJ Styles, one-on-one, a rematch from WrestleMania 40. And the winner of this match is going to be the number one contender for Cody Rhodes going into these next, it's a week, 2 weeks, and then we'll be at Backlash. The winner here is going to get a match at Backlash. And so we had a strong showing here. Great back and forth stuff. AJ's music, entrance music, it works, but it almost doesn't. It's just like, I don't know if it feels like it's so similar to what he was having, just with slight changes. I don't know. I know a lot of people are calling WWE to get Jim Johnson back. I don't know if we necessarily need to be him. I wish they could just get AJ's music from TNA and be able to use it into a WWE blend.
But it doesn't fit his character presently.
True.
That's the problem.
I just
don't got you excited. If you were a face, then that would be perfect.
Yes.
But
I just don't know if this thing it's new, but I don't know if I like it. I heard it the first time it was okay, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's that much of a different. I mean, I know the lyrics and the beat is a little bit different, but it still feels like in that same. I don't know. It doesn't feel as like I'm coming to beat your ass down. Anyways, AJ Styles is in there. Knight wants blunt force trauma, but AJ bails to the apron. AJ snaps Knight over the top rope, pokes the eyes, and hits a phenomenal forearm, and he gets the pin. This match went 11 minutes, 4 seconds. A good, solid match here. Much better than the WrestleMania match, some people will say. I think there's debate there. I think this was a little more solid. It carried through. AJ definitely needed to be the winner here. And now AJ Styles is going to get the face Cody Rhodes at Backlash, all set up and wrapped up in a pretty package. Can't wait to see these two in this short promo time we're going to have to really get you into this feud, to really get you involved into the story that's going to be here. This is going to be good stuff.
Yeah, I don't really have so much to say about the match itself, but you look at it that Cody needed that first good defense. You know, who's that first opponent that's going to take him on and show a strong defense? Man, you can't really pick a better person than AJ Styles.
No, AJ's the right guy here. And AJ, we know, is also talking about it's the twilight of his career. He doesn't know how much longer he has. But this is definitely going to be a guy that's going to push Cody to that next level to really show, is Cody going to be the guy that's going to carry this title? AJ is going to be that guy that could possibly poke holes. If Cody's not going to be the guy, AJ Styles is definitely going to be one of those guys who's going to really push it. And they only got a couple of weeks to push this match. I don't know if they're going to carry this feud out a little longer after this match. But, it's going to be interesting. They got 2 weeks to really get you invested, excited, and beyond just the reason that AJ won a match to be the number one contender. Now he's there. Yes, he's the number one contender, but how is he going to come after Cody? And what role is LA Knight going to play in this? And hopefully we don't get swerved into
exactly where I was going to go with it.
Let's not get turned into a triple threat. I want to see AJ and Cody one-on-one.
No.
But it's going to be interesting what role LA Knight plays in this, because it's obvious that LA Knight and AJ Styles are going to continue this feud in some form or faction.
This feud must continue, apparently.
We go to the back and we see a car pull up, and we have Solo Sikoa, the new tribal chief Sikoa, coming out in nice threads. And we have Paul Heyman out there. He greets him and approves of the outfit. Tama Tonga appears behind Heyman, and Solo says Tonga is the newest member of the bloodline. Heyman stammers a bit, but Solo cuts him off to ask where Kevin Owens is. Then the man should be taken to him. They start to walk. Of course, in the midst of this, as Solo introduces Solo Sikoa introduces Tama Tonga as the newest member of the bloodline. He says Tama Tonga is his new MFT. And I had to figure out, what is MFT? Why has everything got to be initiated? Why we have MFT? One is mother. That's one. I found my favorite thing, and you of course came out with in the notes while we were off air. My favorite thug. So I don't know what he means. I guess it's the Urban Dictionary, or the slang term for MFT is mother. So maybe, I guess, Tama Tonga fits that role in that sense, if you're going to call him a mother. But it should be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Still really interesting to see where Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, is going to play into any of this. If he plays into any of this, it'll be really interesting to see. After the break, Nick Aldis is here, and he's in the ring, and we're going to get new tag team titles for SmackDown. Triple H comes down, and he comes out, and we get an Uncle Howdy tease, or a White Rabbit tease, whatever this tease is. It looks like we're going to get Uncle Howdy. There's rumors of Eric Rowan possibly coming back. Matt Hardy's a free agent, was last week in Detroit. Could Matt Hardy become part of these new? It definitely says it doesn't look like one person's coming back from everything I'm gathering. It seems to be us, or maybe the 6 that we never got. It may not be all 6, but I mean, if you talk about Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss, and Matt Hardy, you at least got 5 there. Could they add somebody else in there? Who knows? But it definitely, everything's referring to an us. If you're paying attention, it's not one person who's coming with this group. Now, Uncle Howdy might show up by himself at first, but it is saying us. We're coming. You forgot about us. So, of course, it could be Uncle Howdy and split personalities, but I don't really think that's what they're selling here. Not with the fact that we're really close to Tail Rotunda, Uncle Howdy coming back. Alexa Bliss, I believe, is cleared to come back. Braun Strowman should be close to coming back. If Eric Rowan's re-signed and Matt Hardy being a free agent, I mean, if they could pull all that magic together, we could have something very interesting. Anyways, we get that tease. Triple H gets in the ring and he's got new tag titles. He invites the Young Boys down, or A-Town down under. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are out here. They're being the goofballs that they normally are, and we got some beautiful tag team titles. I think these are probably a little better to me than the ones on Raw. These take an old 10.
No. Miles better. I'm sorry. I will say it.
These take a little 10 from the last tag team titles that we had before they went to the copper and nickel plated belts with the Spartan headgear looking ones that just never really made sense.
The penny titles, as they have also been called.
So these go back to the old school tag team titles that we had in the 2000s that were nice. These are beautiful belts. Glad to see them. The Young Boys are out here. Nick Aldis basically chews them out because they refuse to shake Triple H's hand. Aldis takes their belts and tells them if they focus on comedy instead of wrestling, they're going to lose those belts to one of the new teams. And we are getting a fatal four-way for the #1 contendership for the tag team titles. And we go to break as Bobby Lashley, B-Fab, and the Street Profits come out, and the New Catch Republic. Post-break, Kayla is backstage interviewing with Naomi. Naomi loves Bayley, but that won't get in the way of her title shot. Last week, she beat Tiffany Stratton and plans on going into the draft as the WWE Women's Champion in the main event tonight. Women again getting a major spotlight on WWE. Somebody else is not living up to that hype. But Triple H definitely putting the good foot forward, trying to show, yeah, we have a badass women's division. Getting some front and center attention each and every week here now. Back to the ring, Legado del Fantasma's here, and then the Authors of Pain come out. And so we have the Street Profits, the New Catch Republic, Legado del Fantasma, and the Authors of Pain to see who's going to be the new #1 contenders against the Young Boys or A-Town Down Under. This is a good, solid match. You got a lot of back and forth, a lot of almost near pins here. You really didn't know who was going to win this. In the end, Bates withers over and Dawkins tags in. Dawkins afforded then hit the Revelation on Angel to get the win. This match went a good 17 minutes, 16 seconds. It's a good, solid 3-star match. I guess you're rebuilding the Street Profits. I wish they would have taken these guys heel. I just feel like a heel Street Profits might be the better. I'm kind of over the babyface. Just kind of like, they don't do enough for me. I feel that they're probably going to get fed to A-Town Down Under in some nefarious means here, which is fine, dandy, whatever. But it's an interesting win. Hopefully they do something with AOP and make the Final Testament feel important. I'm dying to see them actually feel like a threat to, I mean, they're feeling like a threat on NXT, but are they main roster to NXT? I guess we have to see what's in the draft. The New Catch Republic, they're good. I just hope they keep them feeling more serious. And then Legado del Fantasma, I mean, Roberto and Angel are they'll probably be, well, I guess since Redacted is no longer here, we don't have to worry about them selling timeshares, so I think we're safe there. But I think they're just going to kind of be regulated as that jobber team that's around. I don't think either of them will ever get much more than where they are, unfortunately. I mean, I think there's talent there, but I don't know if they'll ever be looked at as higher than where they are. Your thoughts on this tag team roundup? Yeah.
First of all, what you decide to sell, what you decide to call them is your business, but I will no longer be calling Waller and Theory Team Young Boys anymore. They are the WWE Tag Team Champions. Now, this is not their biggest moment, in my opinion, but because I think that's still to come as they, really show what they can do.
Yeah. But
they're on the right track. So I think they've at least, gone above Young Boy status for the time being.
Oh, Young Boys was your reference. I look at them as A-Town Down Under because that's what they're calling them on TV. So
I'm just saying, I think they've moved beyond that now.
All right.
Anywho, this 4-way tag match, cool. Really I didn't really know who's gonna win, which is kind of a nice thing to not know and just kind of let it happen. Two Profits go over. They may not be your thing, but they are there are a lot of fans that still support them in their current role, in the current way that they're presented. So I don't know. Let's see. All I can say is let's see what they do from here.
Exactly. Anyways, from there we get a recap of Rhea Ripley surrendering the women's title on Raw and the fallout. Bayley gets an interview in the back. She appreciates being the champion, especially since right now she's the only women's champion in WWE. The draft might change things next week, but her being champion isn't going to change anytime soon.
I hope not.
No, I think she's going to have a decent run here. I don't know if there's anybody really at that level. I think a lot of things are going to be interesting depending on how the draft goes. The speculation that Cody's going to go to Raw. Will they keep light titles together? Because Cody holds the WWE Championship now, which is official. It is no longer the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. It's back to being the WWE Championship. And Bayley carries the WWE Women's Championship. And then on Raw, we have the WWE World Title and the WWE Women's World Title. So Cody's supposed to be going to Raw. So I'm assuming Bayley may be going to Raw too, because they seem to like to keep the same light titles on the same brand. I get the optics aspect of that, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But I think she's going to have a title for a while. I don't know if there's anybody really around that can be her contender. Hopefully this means we're going to get Dakota Kai maybe getting elevated. Of course, this kind of hurts Io Sky. With Damage Control right now, at least you got Asuka and Kairi Sane tied with women's tag titles. So you don't really have to worry about them too much. But Dakota Kai, maybe that next one. Io Sky's had a nice run, but I don't know where we go here. And then what happens if Dakota Kai becomes the one facing Bayley for that title? Not Io Sky. Will another girl get kicked out? It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of dynamics there that could make for a very interesting story, depending on how they want to tell it.
For sure.
Solo walks around in the back, and Heyman tells him they haven't found Kevin Owens yet. He's got to be here somewhere. Solo walks off into Gorilla. Heyman says respectfully, he's making decisions he shouldn't. One day these will be his decisions, but right now only one man can make these calls. And Solo interrupts him by asking if he's done. Solo heads to the ring with Heyman in tow. They make it to the ring as we head to break. Post-break, Heyman and Solo are still in the ring. Heyman introduces himself and says if there's a list of the best backstage politicians in the business, he'd be somewhere near the top. So permit him to explain what's happening right now within the bloodline. The premier act in WWE history allowed "We Want Roman" chant breaks out, which is interesting, but well-deserved, I would say. So it's not a bad thing, but it's an interesting thing. It's definitely going to be, depending on where the story goes, Roman for the first time getting "We Want Roman" chants. After all these years of being booed, now we want Roman. Chants break out. Heyman as the wise man, but Solo grabs the mic and cuts him off. Solo ruminates, then says last week that they're trying to do the thing for him, and they drown out the booze. It's not quite working like it more or less for okay. I don't want your thoughts. Anyways, last week Solo had to lose a brother to find his MFT, Tama Tonga. We cut up to the entrance where bloody and beaten Kevin Owens is getting abused by Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga beats him down to the ring. Refs and officials come out from the back. They're trying to stop Tama Tonga. He steps over a bloodied and beaten Kevin Owens. Officials help the bloody Owens to the back while Tonga and Solo pose in the ring with Heyman hesitantly joining in. Owens fights back to the ring and brawls with Tonga, but Solo cuts him off and slams him into the ring steps. Solo sends Owens into the ring where Tonga and Owens brawl as more security jumps in. Eventually, Solo floors Owens with a Samoan spike. Tonga is attacking Owens, and security has to pull them off. On the floor, Tonga gets a chair, but Aldis is here to try to settle things down. Solo gets the chair from Tonga and tosses it aside. They get Tonga to leave with him, and the Bloodline head out. Officials again pinned to Owens. We head to a break. They just made Tama Tonga a huge star, having him beat down Kevin Owens like that. To beat your one-arm man. Okay. Oh, that's just half your arm's cut off. Okay. At least on my sketch on the screen, just your arm is like, whoo. Anyways, there you go. They made Tama Tonga look great here. I mean, he beat down Kevin Owens, bloody Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is one of the biggest badasses in WWE. And the fact of the matter that they have Tama Tonga busting him open and bringing him down like he did, they made Tama Tonga look vicious. I mean, you want the son of Haku to look like a badass. I think they're on the right start.
This is the first time a WWE stable has actually looked like the seriousness of the original NWO.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. How much can you actually buy into, first of all, Solo taking over as the tribal chief or as the head, whatever, as the leader. That's what I'm trying to say. Then you have Tama Tonga and his expressions and his actions. You believe, and like you said, because he's the son of Haku, one of at least three, but
Yes.
that it's believable.
Yes.
We haven't seen that for what, 20, 30 years?
Oh yeah, it's been a long time.
Roman in the original Bloodline, storylines, like, yeah, it was serious. Yeah, it was, certain things were believable, but it wasn't. It just didn't have the same feel. When you have Solo as the leader and you have Tama as this right-hand man, who anyone who's ever watched him in New Japan knows what he's capable of. You're getting just a taste of what he's probably going to wind up doing in this company.
Exactly. So it's great to see, and they're going to make him shine. I can't wait to see what they do with some of the other names that they may get into WWE and going forward. We know Jacob Fatu's there somewhere. We got to see how he plays in. And then we know that Tongaleo and who's the other one? Hikuleo?
Hikuleo's one. Tongaloa. Zilla Fatu.
Well, I'm talking more about Haku's boys, but yeah, there's Zilla Fatu out there.
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about Tama Tonga, Tamaloa, and Hikuleo.
Yep. And they're out there. So, I mean, they could be making that jump. If they're looking at their brother here going, damn, they're making him look like a badass. I need to go show him that. Things could get really interesting, depending. We don't know what their contract status with New Japan or any of that is right now.
Right.
We come back from break, and Nick Aldis finds Paul Heyman and wants to know if Heyman was aware of a car crash. Tonga actually crashed a car into Kevin Owens, and we're out in the parking lot, and we see the car crash. This is how Tonga got a hold of Kevin Owens. I mean, straight up, two cars crashed together. Aldis understands conflict between boys, but this is nuts. The draft is next week, and he won't tolerate this kind of savage behavior next week. Heyman understands, but Aldis warns him that if the bloodline doesn't understand, then the consequences will be equally savage. He is close by warning that losing isn't the only thing with consequences.
Yep.
Setting up an interesting story and dynamic here. Who knows what's going to happen next week on the draft now. To the ring now, and here comes Carlito, the LWO. Carlito still not wearing an LWO shirt, but always Selena Vega goes to the ring with him. Santos Escobar follows with Electra Lopez in tow. We get a brief cutaway to an interview with Kayla for Legado del Fantasma. Escobar again denies that they attacked Dragon Lee because they'd have no problem taking responsibility for that if they'd done it. Tonight, Escobar is going to prove he was right all along. So we get Santos Escobar versus Carlito. A decent little match here. Escobar kicks the ropes and into Carlito's groin. Post him and hits a Phantom Driver for 1, 2, 3. This is a basic match, getting a little more time for Carlito and Santos Escobar. Carlito felt like he was moving in slow motion. Carlito wasn't at his best here, but we're definitely this storyline of who's attacked Dragon Lee is going to get interesting. Carlito, I think, is probably the victim, so it's interesting to have him fight Santos here in this little quick match. Not a whole lot to talk about. It was a decent little match.
It was just continue the story. That's all.
We head to the back. Kayla is in the luxury box talking with Damage Control. Dakota Kai denies the reality that Io is a former champion and tries to play with the crowd to, at best, mixed results. The Kabuki Warriors are still the women's tag team champions, but the triad is mercifully cut off by Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair arriving next to Damage Control. Everyone starts bickering as Naomi starts her entrance. Naomi's headed to the ring. We go to break, and it's time for the main event of the evening here. Post-break, we get a recap of the episode thus far, especially AJ winning and then getting a video from Cody Rhodes from the UK. This is where we got to see Cody. Cody's keeping his promise to take the WWE title all around the world. Ooh, they're global. Oh, no. AJ has emerged as the number one contender. Two Georgia boys are going to duke it out in France, and he puts over AJ as the new excellence of execution. Looks forward to fighting him. Great little segment here by Cody. Should be fun. And two Georgia boys. A great way to sell this. Can't wait to see how we get this match and what we're going to see. Next week, we're going to get a contract signing for AJ and Cody. Plus, the draft will begin. They're including NXT in it, and it looks like NXT is included in it. Don't know why you said in this. It looks like it's not like they are in it. They already told you they were in it when they announced the draft, and Ava Rain was standing there. They're all a part of it. The draft's going to include all three brands, so they told you that from the very beginning. So I don't know why you say it looks like it. They are. Bailey is here, and this person who wrote these notes said her deeply uninspiring new theme song then heads to the ring. I'm going to be honest, this last switch to themes for a lot of guys has been mostly a miss across the board. I know a lot of people are upset about the theme music in WWE because it seems like a lot of people are doing their introductions. AJ does his thing of, you don't want none. The New Catch Republic screams, the New Catch Republic! New Day, it seems like everybody's throwing the little catchphrase. I don't know why everybody's so upset by that, but I guess a lot of people are not liking the theme music. The only one AJ doesn't seem to hit, and if we're going to have Solo Sikoa as the tribal chief, it may be time to update his, because when he's coming out and all those threads and the music playing, it doesn't hit anymore.
Yeah, it's like the music still says Street Warrior.
Yeah.
Or Street Champion, excuse me.
And he coming out in those threads, if he's the new tribal chief, he's going to need new theme music. I hope that's coming and whatever they're playing up, but we're going to have to see. I wonder what Tama Tonga's theme song is going to be like. That's going to be an interesting one. Anywho, the WWE Women's title on the line as Bayley takes on Naomi. And this is a great match. This is a good, solid match between these two. The back and forth. They start trading strikes. Naomi lands a scorpion kick, then knees Bayley out of the ring. Naomi hits a dive, and both women are down on the floor. The ref starts the count, but Bayley hits Naomi with a belly-to-belly suplex on the announce table. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Tiffy time. Oh, I couldn't do it. It's Tiffy time. I can't get that high anymore, unfortunately. Tiffany runs in and clocks Bayley, causing a DQ, allowing Bayley to win at 11 minutes, 20 seconds. But this is a good, solid match between Naomi and Bayley. Naomi getting a lot of a showcase here, really giving it to Bayley. Almost times that you're like, "Ooh, is she going to come out on top here?" But Tiffy comes out and ruins this match. Stratton afterwards lays out Bayley with a shot to the steps and posts Naomi as well. Stratton puts both women in the ring and hits a prettiest moonsault ever onto both of them and then poses. Up in the crowd, we see the women up there reacting while Stratton keeps posing to end the episode. Tiffy time, getting the highlight of the night as we close out the show. She stands tall. Are we getting a triple threat at Backlash between these three women?
I hope
Are
not.
we going to get?
It's possible, but I hope not.
Are we going to get? Well, but you got to look at it this way. Naomi didn't get pinned by Bayley. Her shot got interfered by Tiffy. Tiffy went in there, so I mean, I think the only obvious things at Backlash is we're going to get a triple threat here. Whether we love it or not, I think that's where we're headed, unless we're going to do Bayley versus Tiffy. And Tiffy, and that may be dangerous. You may want the triple threat, because to keep the title on Bayley, you may want to pin Naomi and not Tiffy. Because if you go one-on-one with Bayley, if you go one-on-one with Bayley and Tiffy, do you really want to see Tiffy get pinned by Bayley? Or do you want to see Bayley already lose this title after all the hard work? So I think we're getting a triple threat. If you look at what's the writing on the wall, Naomi needs to be there to take the pin, because I don't think Bayley and Tiffy yet. And that's definitely your SummerSlam match. I don't know if Bayley holds on to that title past SummerSlam, but it looks like Tiffany Stratton may be the next WWE Women's Champion. Definitely headed that way. And probably the right move, because she is over. Even though she's a heel, she's over. Cool. And Bayley worked hard to win that.
She was starting to get that fan respect.
Yes. So, I mean, yes, Bayley worked very hard to win this title, went through all that storyline, went through all the damage control stuff, and it was great. But she may be not holding that title very long. She may make it to SummerSlam and lose it. So I would say at Backlash, the safe bet would be a triple threat so Naomi can take the pin, because I don't think you want to pin Tiffany Stratton yet.
Yeah, no. You want to build her as high as you can. And plus, like I said off air, I don't think I've ever seen pink and white look so good.
Probably last time would have been Natalia.
Yeah. And the odd part about Natalia is she looks better now than she did when she was younger.
So there's that. I think, going into the Backlash, we got Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. We got two Georgia boys. That should be a really good matchup. That should bring it to a new look, a new fold. We'll definitely have to see what we get from there. I think we're going to get Bayley versus Naomi versus Tippy. That should be good. We know the Women's Championship is supposed to be crowned next week on Raw, so I don't know if they'll have a title match at Backlash for that. And then I guess the tag team matches. The tag team match for Raw is this week, so that's going to be interesting. And then we got to see how to play out with Chad Gable. Rumors are that Chad Gable may align himself with the Creed brothers, so the Creed brothers may go heel, which is what I think would be perfect for him. I think all three of those guys, Chad Gable with the Creed brothers as heel, that's not going to be a good thing for the roster. I think it's going to be good for the fans if you like good heel grouping, but I don't know if that's going to be good for the roster in that sense. So.
Because then it makes you wonder what happens to what's left of Alpha Academy.
Akira Tozawa goes back to doing what he does. Otis, I guess Otis and Akira Tozawa will probably have to fight the Creed brothers, try to do Chad Gable, but I think they're pretty much done. Maxine, Ivy Nile will probably have to leave the Creed brothers too. This is going to be interesting. It's going to tear a lot of dynamics away from one another. Mm-hmm. Ivy Nile will be fine on her own anyways. Probably needs to get away from that. Get away from the Creed brothers because they're not really helping her, and she's more attached to Maxine. So I think Ivy Nile and Maxine working together as a tag team may be the best thing for both of them right now. Otis, maybe they'll let Otis finally go on a decent singles run. In the mid card, maybe look around the mid card titles.
That man could be modern day Vader if they just let him and push him right.
I don't know if he could be modern day Vader. He could be Vader-esque, but I don't know if he could be Vader. He doesn't come off.
That's how I said if they push him right.
I'd have to see.
I did give that caveat.
I would have to see him as a heel, a real strong single heel. I'd have to see if he has that. Vader had that hard knock hitting style that was, Vader was like, maybe. I mean, Bronson Reed to me would be closer to a modern day Vader if they really wanted to push him to be, that style. So, a lot of things coming up. Backlash just around the corner. That should be fun. And then, of course, the King and the Queen of the Ring will be at the end of May in Saudi Arabia, so that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. This weekend's going to be lots of fun right here on the Value of Wrestling. Give me 1 second. This weekend's going to be fun. We'll be here at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to give you a weekly roundup where we're going to cover several things in wrestling, a lot of news and rumors. We'll talk a little more in detail about the releases. We'll talk about Tony Khan and his distaste for the fans. A lot of speculation out there in his behavior, in his direction. If you haven't checked it out, I put up a new video. Is Tony Khan becoming the next Redacted? So that's up on the channel as a big time rant. Check that out. The weekend preview. If you want to know what's coming up from now until next week, it is on and up on the channel. It comes out every Thursday. Covers the week in preview all the way from Thursday to Wednesday. This is your SmackDown review, so we'll be here Sunday for the weekly roundup podcast. Me, Paul, Mr. Clarke, and Miguel Z will all be here to cover everything going on in the world of professional wrestling and talk up and tell you our thoughts on Dynasty. The only bad thing is you have to spell nasty before you can get to Dynasty, and that's just a cold, hard fact.
Now, here's my question to you, though.
Yes.
Even though we're not doing a live review tomorrow night, are we trying to watch 3 hours worth of AEW just so we can be prepared for Sunday's Dynasty?
If you want to, that's fine. I think a lot of the Collision matches are crap, and the Rampage match. I mean, we got the FTR in a match and some weird fight that's not even like, why are we even risking these people getting hurt? And then we have a stupid 420 match where RVD's taking on Isaiah Cassidy and Lee Johnson and Commander in a aerial assault 4-way elimination 420 match. So Tony Khan's trying to get a cheap pop like an indie fed would on a 420 match. It's something I would say if in my local independent show they're going, we're going to have a 420 match on 420. I'd go, huh? Okay, I get it. You're trying to get people interested, come in, pay their $20 and see your show. AEW Dynamite, which is or AEW Collision, AEW in itself, Tony Khan. If you're trying to book a show and you want to be presented as a real, option or a second option or the number 2 company in the world, no, you don't book these type of matches. It just says this is a mark. This is a mark booking this crap. He's a mark. He's a stupid mark, and he's. We'll talk about that on Sunday. In depth, a lot of detail to talk about there. I know there's a lot of people are talking about the Nyla Rose incident. All I want to say is on that is, remember when you attack a state of people, you're attacking all the people, and they're not all the ones that are responsible for the way the legislation and the rules of the sports authority go. So, I mean, don't attack the state, attack the legislation, and attack the sports commission, because they're the ones who make the rules. The people can only vote on, I don't even know how that works. I don't think they get to vote on the sports rules. And I don't even know if the person who's in charge of the wrestling commission or whatever is a elected official. I guess the only thing that people can, quote unquote, vote on is the legislation that may control what athletes can do, and I know that's a big deal, and we can discuss that briefly on Sunday, because I know that's a lot of talk.
I guess I haven't read people's opinions. I've only read about the athletic commission, what people are saying about the commission itself. I haven't seen them attack the state. I haven't seen anyone attack.
Well, there's one big YouTuber who said, fuck Oklahoma, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, I respect you, but don't say...
Okay.
There's people that are saying Oklahoma, and I don't go off on them because I get what they're actually trying to say, but again, it's also like, hey, remember, the state's a state of people, and they're not the ones that are, can make all these rules in my life. I'm an Okie, and I get it, that's home, that Mr. Clarke would be the same thing. If you're like coming hard at California for something the people didn't do, it's different,
Heck, I get mad at my friends who talk down about my city, Stockton. So.
There you go. So, I mean, that's my only real gripe. It's like, don't attack Oklahoma because it's a state of people. It's not... You want to be mad at the Oklahoma...
The organization has nothing to do with the state. It just
if you want to be mad at the Oklahoma Sports Authority Commission, whatever their title is, that's a different story. And, of course, I think Tony Khan holds some liability in there to making sure that he wasn't being clear. He should know the bylaws of all these places. So, I mean, that falls on Tony Khan again.
Oh, absolutely. Redacted knew his job. He knew where he could promote, how he could promote, etc. This is, again, Tony Khan not being a boss. And we'll leave it at that till Sunday.
Yeah, no, this falls on Tony Khan. Nyla Rose is a wrestler. She can do what she wants to. She can wrestle who she wants. I mean, and that's up to Tony Khan to book her appropriately. But, I mean, when there's bylaws, that part falls on Tony Khan. Whether we agree with those bylaws, it's a whole different story that we can get into a little depth on Sunday. And then we'll be here for Sunday's Dynasty. We'll do a post-show review on the 12 matches, if we can remain alive. Mr. Clarke will probably be bouncing off the walls by the time we get here at 12 o'clock at night. I don't know how long this is going to be. Oh, it's 12 matches. Why? Even WWE's learned, okay, quality over quantity.
Yep.
And then Tony Khan wants to shove 12 matches down our throat, which half of them on the card are useless. They don't do anything. So, there is that. Anything you want to say in closing before we get out of here?
Man, I think, I'm forgetting the name of the damn pay-per-view coming up. Backlash. That's going to be it's going to definitely be an interesting pay-per-view for being the first, especially the first for Cody as WWE champion. I'm very interested in seeing how things are different than from Roman's reign. How do they present him and how do they keep his momentum going?
Yes. But anyways, we thank you for joining us. We thank you for being here. If you like the new lookout of tonight's program, let us know. I thought, a nice layout here. So let us know. Always drop a comment if you're watching this later. Hit the thumbs up, ring the bell for notifications, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are well marching. We are at 373. It's getting fun. Get ready for this ride because we're here to be contenders, not pretenders. We are going to be number one. I don't care who you are. You can think you're the best podcaster in this space, and that's fine. But it's like wrestling, and you should know if you're a fan of wrestling or if you want to be in wrestling, there should always be that goal to be the world champion, period. If you're not in the game to be the champion, then what are you in the game for? So we're in the game of podcasting. So yeah, we are here to be the best. We're going to be the best. And if you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. But we're coming for the throne, and you can believe that. No disrespect intended. It's just that's how the facts are. If you're here, you better be coming to be number one.
Get ready to fly.
Mr. Clarke, tell him good night.
Good night, folks.
Before we blew it all